Question 41 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the remote cause of the action group crisis of 1962 was the option A, fear of domination, option B, abolition of federalism, option C, personality clash among its leaders, option D, issue of self-government. Now, the action group crisis started at the party's executive meeting in 1961. The crisis was caused by the personality dispute between the leader of the party, in person of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and his deputy, Chief S.L. Akintola, who was also the premier of the West. What led to the crisis was that Akintola and some other members of the party were cooperating with the MPC to control the federal government, while Awolowo was against it and he preferred cooperating with the NCNC to remove the MPC from power. And this led to the action group crisis. So the answer to this question, the cause of the action group crisis, was as a result of personality clash among its members. So our correct answer is option C. Question 42 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, fixed tenure of office is associated with the option A, parliamentary system, option B, monarchical system, option C, republican system, option D, presidential system. Now the correct answer to this question is option D, presidential system. In a presidential system, the president is popularly elected either directly or indirectly and holds office for a fixed term. The legislature cannot remove the president from office except by impeachment. So our correct answer, like I said earlier, is option D, presidential system. Question 43 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, which of the following was a revenue allocation commission? Option A, Udoji Commission. Option B, Rasman Commission. Option C, Abayode Commission. Option D, Williams Commission. Now, in a federal system, there are different levels of government, each with its own set of constitutional responsibility, because the corresponding expenditure obligations are often different from the allocation of tax, power, and revenue resources. So a system of revenue allocation is required as a mechanism for readdressing the subsequent mismatch between expenditure, obligations, and revenue sources. The overall objective of such a system of revenue allocation would be to enhance economic development whilst simultaneously maximizing intergovernmental conflict. Now, from the option, which of the following was a revenue allocation commission? Option B, the Rasman Commission, is the correct answer. In search of acceptable revenue allocation formula in 1958, the Rasman Commission was established to review the existing revenue allocation formula. The Rasman Commission recommended that the North, which had over half of the country's population, would receive 40% allocation. The Western region was to receive 37%, Eastern region 18%, and the Southern Cameroon 5%, while the Northern region, in addition, received 1.5 million naira as compensation because the principle of derivation worked against it in the past. Now, for option A, Udoji Commission, it was not a revenue allocation commission. Rather, it is about the civil service reform of 1975. The reform introduced the uniform grading and salary structure of the civil service. Option C, Abayode Commission, was also a revenue allocation commission, but it was excluded because the commission fine-tuned the work of the previous commission towards equitable justification. So option C is also wrong. Option D is also wrong. Question 44 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, election can be used to measure the effectiveness of option A, pressure group, option B, political propaganda, option C, political opinion, option D, public opinion. Election can be used to measure public opinion. Election generally starts when someone wants a political question answered. For example, a candidate may wonder, how many persons in my district know who I am and what I do? So polls can give some answers which can help him or her plan a campaign for election. The result of an election could help to determine how popular a government and its policies are. So the correct answer to this question is option D, public opinion. Question 45 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, a feature of communalism is that option A, ownership of land is vested in the community. Option B, a landowner can employ landless man. Option C, landless men have no privilege as citizens. Option D, sovereignty is identified with landed property. Now the correct answer to this question is option A, ownership of land is vested in the community, because communalism refers to a system of collective ownership of property and cooperation among members of a community in the execution of developmental projects. And in a communal community, members pursue a common goal collectively, and properties like land are owned collectively and shared among members on equal basis. So option A is our correct answer. Question 46 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, in the Hausa pre-colonial system, the officer in charge of fishing activity was the option A, Sakin Numa, option B, Sakin Danguri, option C, Sakin Ruwa, option D, Sakin Pa. Now, in the Hausa pre-colonial system, the caliphate was divided into emirates, and each emirate was headed by an emir. The emir is both the political and the spiritual head of the emirate. He is the chief executive and absolute monarch of the emirates. Each emir was assisted in the administration of the emirate by numbers of advisors, and Sakin Ruwa was one of the advisors, and he was the head of fishing and water resources, meaning he was the officer in charge of fishing activity. So our correct answer is option C. Question 47 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the Social and Cultural Affairs Commission is a specialized agency of the option A, OPEC, option B, Commonwealth, option C, United Nations, option D, ECOWAS. Now the correct answer to this question is option D, ECOWAS. There are 6 organs established by ECOWAS. They include the Authority of Heads of States and Governments, the Council of Ministers, the Executive Secretariat, the Fund of Cooperation, Compensation and Development, the Community Tribunal, and the Technical and Specialized. There are 4 Technical and Special Commissions, which are the Industry, Agriculture and Natural Resources Commission, the Trade, Custom, Immigration, Monitoring and Payment Commission, the Transport, Telecommunication and Energy Commission, and the Social and Cultural Affairs Commission. So we can see now that the Social and Cultural Commission is a specialized agency of the ECOWAS. So our correct answer is option D. Question 48 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, which of the following assists the President in the formation of foreign policies? Option A, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Option B, Ministry of Interior. Option C, Ministry of Defense. Option D, Ministry of Justice. Now, the correct answer to this question is option A, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Nigerian Foreign Ministry is a stationary body created to reinforce foreign decision-making and implementation process in Nigeria, and they handle the external promotion of Nigerian domestic vision and deals. And it is headed by the Federal Executive Cabinet Minister. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs assists the President in the formations of foreign policy. Question 49 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, rule by divine right is the basis of option A, absolute monarchy, option B, representative democracy, option C, the republican system, option D, the feudal system. The rule by divine right is a basis of absolute monarch. Absolute monarch meant that the ultimate authority to run the state was in the hands or is in the hands of a king who ruled by divine right. And divine right was the claim that a king was given his position by some higher power. So our correct answer is option A. The rule by divine right is a basis of absolute monarch. Question 50 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, an important ingredient of the civil service is option A, hierarchy, option B, imbalance, option C, nepotism, option D, partisanship. An important ingredient of the civil service is hierarchy. The hierarchy of power in civil service must be obeyed and respected by every civil servant. For example, a director general exercises control over the workers under him. So the correct answer to this question is option A, hierarchy.